Okay, so today is, jeez, what is today? November 15th of 2024, and it is Friday. Let's go over a couple of things here. Okay, so today is November 15th of 2024, and let's go over yesterday's price action. So yesterday was interesting in that, well, not really interesting, I guess. Any day is interesting, but yesterday I had a bearish bias, and we did draw into sell side liquidity down here. And the reason why I was bearish was because NQ had swept previous day high. ES did not, SMT at the highs, but more specifically, I liked how the 4 hour looked because, uh, yeah, I liked how the 4 hour looked. We were drawing from imbalance to imbalance, more specifically in the 1 hour. But this right here is a daily, so we were drawing from high to low, and Thursday, no, today's Friday, so Wednesday, we price drew higher. This was a day I did not expect. But either way, I came out this day break even. But yesterday, I was actually pretty excited about, because again, we had SMT at the highs, relative equal highs, but I did not expect price to sweep that until after we swept the lows. Same thing on NQ. NQ swept Tuesday low, Tuesday high, and then what I wanted to see is I wanted to see yesterday's low. Actually, Wednesday low get swept because we had relative equal lows as well. And if long term or higher time frame order flow remains bullish, then this is the type of setup you want to see. You want to see buy side get swept first and then sell side. So that's what I expected yesterday. I was anticipating for price to draw lower, and it did. Um, but let's go over to the 60 minute. On the 60 minute, I did notice the price had already swept buy side, which it was in the form of Asia high, London high, with this high here. Not only that though, but we had an order block here, as well as where was it? I think it was here somewhere. But anyways, all right. So here, with Tuesday's high, price swept sell side, buy side, I mean. And so once price swept buy side here on the 1 hour, I had expected price to come down here and sweep sell side, because that's usually what it does. Price goes from liquidity to liquidity, from liquidity to imbalance, from imbalance to liquidity, or from imbalance to imbalance. And here I was looking for an imbalance, I mean for liquidity on the 1 hour at least, from liquidity to liquidity down here or down here. And so that's what I expected yesterday. I didn't see anything on the 1 hour here yesterday. So then I zoomed into the 15 minute. Actually, the only thing I saw here was after price drew lower and price held here. There's inversion on the 1 hour. So here again, price rejected this area here. We had a slow down move, then we had a draw higher, and this to me was a manipulation leg followed by the expansion or the distribution leg. And so I came into the day expecting price to draw lower, saw this breaker block here, used this breaker here as an area to see how price rejected, if price rejected that area, and it actually did. On the 15 minute here, uh, had this order block drawn, and with this order block drawn, you also notice this order block right here. Order block, propulsion block. As you can see here, price tried to get above it, didn't even close above it, didn't even close above 30%, didn't even close above the body of this propulsion block, right? And so I come into the day expecting this area to be resistance here, breaker block here, uh, mitigation block here, right? So mitigation block here. Um, right. So right after morning, what I wanted to see is I wanted to see something on the 5 minute, because here we have this imbalance here, as well as this block here that I'm using this order block here to see what I'm for me to see. Um, and so what I wanted to see is I wanted to see right off the open is 0930. What I wanted to see is I wanted to see price fail to get above this breaker right here. I mean this order block right here on one of the pairs right here. And whichever one, the kind of signature I look for is I want to see one failed to get above it, failed to cross through it, and the other one, it doesn't matter if it crosses through it, but I don't want to see it break this high here. And so on NQ, price breaks through that high, breaks through the body of this order block, and almost crosses this high here. This one doesn't. I probably, in hindsight, I probably should have taken the short here, but I actually decided to take a short here above this high here. And the reason why I did that was because on the 5 minute I noticed the double purge. All right, and double purge is my setup. That's the setup I like looking. I don't short on or long unless I see a double purge. Double purge here. Actually, you don't see it here. Here we swept low, but here we failed to sweep the high. Here we swept the low, failed to sweep, and then we swept the high. So double purge there. But what I wanted to see is I wanted to see it here, either on the 5 or the 1 minute. And as you can see here, right, going right into the 9:30 open, we sweep sell side first, taking out those, enticing those sellers to get in early, and then for anybody that was long, get stopped here, and then we come back up here. All of these sellers get stopped because they assume that this right here is the stop or this right here. Same thing here. Sell side gets swept, buy side gets swept, taking out both participants out of the market, and then I jump in here. I jump in here and I had my stop, my hard stop up here. Now I noticed this tiny little void a little too late, because as soon as I noticed, I was like, let me add. But I guess what I can say is I had about 30 seconds to decide that once I noticed that, and within that 30 seconds, I just couldn't come up with a decision. Uh, but now I know for next time, and I have it in my notes now. Next time, hopefully, I don't make the same mistake, because I was in with 3 contracts. Probably should have added 2 more with the stop up here, and then we get that draw lower. And then on that draw lower, I actually add up here. We get that draw lower into the previous day low, and that was it for me. And the rest of the day was just kind of paper trading. This right here was a pretty good setup. Swept sell side first and buy side going into the 11, 12 o'clock macros. Same thing here. Swept sell side first. We don't sweep buy side. SMT, you could short there as well, and you covered down here at the previous day lows. Um, Going into the afternoon, the close, you have SFT here, SMT here. Uh, Price did not sweep sell side, as you can see. So this high is still protected, and I don't see a double purge here, which is not something I was in love with, but nevertheless, I liked how price did sweep sell side once again, buy side, and then another form of buy side. You could short there or up here, and then obviously this becomes a protected high. And as you can see here, we never swept buy side. This same area buy side. So that, even though it is relative equal highs, I consider that a good setup as well. So for today's outlook, uh, let's see. So for today's outlook, it's kind of interesting. Today we do have news at 8:30. Um, so I will be looking to see how price reacted off of those news. I think it's core retail sales. Yeah, core retail. Um, so I do kind of have a bias. I'm still bullish, obviously. And at this point, I'm not looking to short anywhere around here. Not even interested. What I'm looking for is I want to see how price traded overnight. Did it consolidate? Sweep buy side, and then going into the news, sweep sell side, and then we draw higher. The reason I have these order blocks set here is because whenever you have a move like this, I like paying attention to the first order block that's created on the move, because whatever happens with that order block tends to act as an area of support. And actually, let's do this. So as you can see, 50% is there and 50% is here, right? Technically speaking, we want to use the candle that started that aggressive move. So let's just, let's just use that. So I will be watching to see how price reacts in these areas here. I don't think price comes down into these areas though. I think these areas is where I want to keep an eye at, because this right here to me is a balanced price range. So I am more specifically watching this order block here. The reason I don't have this order block um, uh, highlighted is because I do want to see what happened with this order block here in the 4 hour. And obviously we have an imbalance here. So again, on ES, I kind of want to see this 4 hour get violated, but not on NQ because NQ has this order block here. So I want to see what happened overnight here. But again, what I want to see again is consolidation, buy side swept, then price to come down and sweep sell side, and then we get to draw higher. If that happened already, then there's really no reason to get in until after, or if there's already structure enough for me to want to get long after sell side has already been swept. So let's go ahead and connect the data and see what we're doing. Um, if for some reason we swept sell side and then we haven't swept buy side yet, and we haven't ran into those that area of liquidity, then I may look to take a short. But again, it all has to deal with structure. I want to see how structure created overnight. And actually, I forgot to add previous day high low here. There we go. All right, so we are drawing lower, and we're right at that order block right here. We swept this. Okay. Okay. So another rule of mine is I like seeing one of the one of the pairs draw into 50% of the range and the other one not. So I want to see how price trades here. So it did violate both of these order blocks that I was paying attention to, so I can just go ahead and delete these. We took out a previous day low. I can delete that actually. Okay, so we took out a previous day low, previous month high. Old highs tend to act as areas of support, so you have plenty of confluence here. So I am watching this area to see. As you can see here on the 4 hour, we just swept sell side. I mean buy side. And NQ did not, so that's SMT right there. We are within this order block here. So I will be watching to see how price reacts in this area here. Pretty good pretty good area here to look to see if price decides to reject that area. Previous day low. Where is this is also the previous month high. So on NQ we're already above the previous below the previous month high. Actually, it's a previous week low. And the crazy thing about this is that on the weekly, that's also I think it's a pretty good breaker block. Previous week, I think it's a previous month high. I'm not so certain. Let's take a look. Yeah, previous month high here. Previous week high. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so this right here is a order block, propulsion block. So I am watching to see how price does here. This to me is a propulsion block, so I will be watching to see how price does here. Um, we are drawing into this area. I want to see price draw into this area, but again, I will be watching very carefully here. I think we'll be able to get a pretty good entry today, as long as we just remain calm and stuff like that. I can take this out. Let's go ahead and take this out. Don't need this anymore. previous day low has already been swept. If price reverses, then I will be looking to trade into equilibrium here. Same thing here, into equilibrium, and as you can see, previous day low kind of aligns with that. But again, I don't want price to come down here. If price is going to reverse, I want price to reverse in this area here. If it does, and NQ looks like it's going to draw into that area. So let's just keep that in mind right there. That way I know exactly where we are. Let's go into the 60-minute. Okay, so again, sub buy side here. Actually, no, it wasn't there. Wait, what? Yeah, right here. You could probably see it better on the 15-minute. Same thing here. So there is SMT right now between ES and NQ. And let's go into the 15-minute. We just swept sell side. Sell side, but again, I want to see price join to this area, not just there. So let's take a look at YM, see what YM is doing. This is a 4-hour. This technically, this is not a. Actually, it is already. Okay, 4-hour there. So again, we swept buy side. Now we're sweeping sell side. We're about to sweep sell side here. And I want to see what it does here. Here's where I want that reversal to occur. And Q, I want that reversal to occur here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going into the open. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see an immediate. Well, maybe it does happen. An aggressive move, draw higher. Because if that happens, then that means I have to wait until maybe the 11 or 1300 macro to wait for enough structure if that displacement occurs. This reminds me of what day was it? This day right here. This day. But I don't think the same is going to happen today. I think we reverse somewhere down here in this area here. YM is I'm doing the same. So between YM and ES, YM and ES are in sync, where they haven't swept the low yet, and YM and NQ has. Sub buy side here. Previous day low. Just move this over here. So let's move it to that area. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. I kind of do like this on ES, but I'm not. I'm just not gonna take any trade yet because again, I want to see NQ draw into this area here. Actually, I never looked at the daily here in this area. I really like this breaker. I mean, this mitigation block here. Um, the reason I like it is because we have a stop run in between. So this right here could be the daily breaker, the daily order block that causes price to reverse. And let's just put this here too. Wick high of mitigation block. So plenty of confluence here, plenty of reason as to why price would draw higher. This whole gap here, I would not like for price to come down to consequent encroachment. Instead, I would like a immediate reversal in this area here. Oh wow, there's a 1 minute setup. Jeez, I just realized that. No, never mind. So right now the draw on liquidity for ES is down here, I believe. But again, that all has to do with how price trades draws going into the 10 o'clock macro, which I don't know. I hope it doesn't do anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna disconnect. That way I'm not thrown. I'm not enticed into being impulsive. All right, so let's start from the daily once again. So during the 10 o'clock macro, which we have in about 14 minutes, what I want to see is I want to see price um, fail to draw into these areas here. I forgot to talk about this 4 hour here. There is a 4 hour institutional order for entry drill, and if price is still drawing higher, then I don't want price to come down here. what I want to see is I want to see price uh, maybe hit this area, but not really. I would rather it just reverse it where it's at right now. That would give me SMT between ES and NQ. Um, Right. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So again, pretty good area to see if maybe price decides to reverse there. So that's what I'm looking for. Here we have a mitigation block. Here we have a stop run in between. So whether it's a mitigation block or a break block, that's for you to decide. But for me, it's a mitigation block because this to me is the real swing low, not this one. Either way, there is a stop run, and the reason why the stop run is important to me is whenever I look at a breaker and a mitigation block, as ICT has said before. Um, if there's a stop run in between that breaker or mitigation block, then price will respect that area. I forgot which one he said it in. I think it was in one of his private ICT mentorship videos. Um, I probably should have written down exactly what video it was where I saw it at, but I took that note, I wrote it down, and then I back tested it, and it's true. A lot of mitigation blocks, people are afraid to trade them, but I like trading them, especially if there's a stop run in between. So that's what I look for. That's how you find a better setup. Um, so again, I do want to see how price reacts here. So on the daily, we are within this gap here. Price is trading from imbalance, or my apologies, from liquidity to imbalance right now. And what happens in this balance? In this imbalance, does it reject? Does it reverse? Does it continue drawing lower? Or does this create that balanced price range to then come attack these lows down here? Because now we have pretty clean relative equal lows. So right now it's undecided as to what it wants to do because we are again at a very um, uh, high probability area of where price might reverse. Again, I want to see NQ reverse in this area here somewhere. I want to see ES reverse in this area somewhere to then go attack the highs once again. Let's go ahead and go over to the 4-hour. Pretty big order block here. This right here is that institutional order flow I was talking about. As you can see here, it touched it and then immediately drew higher. Here, obviously, the same didn't happen. It had an imbalance, balanced all of it, and then drew higher. So this is the area I'm paying attention to. Again, I want to see one of them draw into 50% while the other one doesn't, and then I'll look to take it long if there's a setup. Let's take a look at the 60-minute. On the 60-minute, there's really nothing here to highlight except for this. Again, this whole down move is a 4-hour order block. So that's what I'm looking at here. On the 1 hour, nothing. Let's take a look at the 60-minute over here. Nothing here either. Pretty good, solid, balanced price range. So again, this is why I believe that maybe this is the area where we reverse. Because again, balanced price range, as you can see here, balanced as well. That's why price consolidated and then drew lower, broke through that. If it wouldn't have been balanced, then it probably most likely would have just sliced through it, just like it did here. It just sliced through it. But here had trouble getting through it, kind of consolidated, and then drew lower here. Same thing here. As you can see here, in this area, balanced price range consolidated, then drew lower. We consolidated. We're still consolidating in this area. So I don't want to see price break these lows here. I want to see price maybe hold here. So nothing on the 60-minute that I can see. We do have an inversion here, but it's not 10 o'clock yet, so can't really count that just yet. Same thing here, possible imbalance, possible other imbalance. So again, I want to see what price does during the 10 o'clock macro. We just took out sell side SMT between ES and NQ. Equilibrium there. Equilibrium here. So again, if price decides to reversing this area, what I'll be looking for is an imbalance to imbalance move, meaning that we're drawing from an imbalance on the daily to 4-hour imbalance and more 4-hour imbalances up here. So I'll be looking for price to maybe reverse and maybe take these highs up here. If it does that, if it doesn't, then again, I'm not looking to short in this area, just too too risky. On the 15-minute, we already took out sell side, buy side, in the form of these highs over here. Here we did not. As you can see here, we didn't take sell side. That's why that's SMT, but it already completed the objective. As you can see here, completed the objective. This looks just like yesterday's price action where it created that high or a breaker block, tried to break above that high and then drew lower. Let's reload the script. There you go. So yeah, nothing here on the 15-minute. So plenty of confluence here. Okay. So I'm just gonna wait a couple more minutes and then I'll connect the data, see where price is, and then I'll make my decision if there is a relevant setup. Couple more minutes and then I'll connect. All right, so we're 4 minutes away. Let's go ahead and connect. See where we're at now. <sighs> 15-minute. Okay, so we don't have SMT at the lows, but I do like that price is holding here and you drawing lower. I like this move down. It's very aggressive, but That's what I expect of a manipulation, like because when you have like I guess you can say a down move, kind of like this, and then maybe it sweeps the low. It doesn't really convince me. Um, but yeah, so we are at this breaker block. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. So on the 5 minute, I would like to see price get over these imbalances here. We don't have any imbalances here. We took out buy side already, so that's good. The 5 minute. So yeah, I like this setup. We took out sell side. I want to see true displacement. The fact that this is building some wicks at the highs, I'm not really too fond of just yet. If I were looking to get short, then this right here would be the sell side taken, then buy side taken. Uh, but I want to see it the other way. I want to see price take out this side, and then come back to take out this low, and then we get the reversal. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. Um, I have this written here. I have this here as the order block. So I'm watching to see how price reacts or behaves in this area here. Let's take a look at YM. YM, what is YM doing? YM has not broken the low. So there's SMT between ES and NQ, where ES and NQ are in sync, but YM is the one that's drawing higher. Yes, yeah, I'm just not convinced just yet. I want to see what happens here. Looks like it's looking like displacement there. Let's get my orders ready just in case I want to take a shot there. Yeah, that's displacement, it looks like. So the next candle will tell me what it wants to do. Well, not this one, but the next few candles. Because right now, what I'm seeing is, again, just like I mentioned earlier, what I want to see is buy side get taken first, and I want to see sell side get taken. Right, so I'm just watching now. Because it is, as you can see here, it is rejecting that 5 minute imbalance. So let's draw this here. Tiny imbalance here in the 5 minute. So the next few candles will tell me a lot about what's about to happen. This is the 15-minute low, by the way. Right here. Yeah, as you can see here, we do have, this could be a breakaway gap, but I'm just not convinced yet. We have a gap here. If I'm being honest, the only the this could be an institutional order flow entry drill, so that's why I'm watching this right here. I want to see if I'm gonna take a long. It'll probably be on the S because this right here is a an order block right here, and if price draws higher, then I want to see this candle close above this area here, turn this into a propulsion block, because then this would be a institutional order flow entry drill. But as you can see, we are drawing lower, so no entry just yet. But again, I like that we swept buy side first. So we'll see. We'll see what it wants to do. What's the 5-minute look like? Yep, I like that the 5-minute did that. Swept this area here. So definitely want to see that. We do have a breaker here, but again, my bias is bullish, so that's why I'm watching that. It is holding above this order block here. But yeah, this is not enough for me. Not enough data for me to make a logical decision just yet. At this point, I'm just giving it time. We have about 6 minutes until the macro starts. We are drawing lower. I'm watching this gap. I want to see price draw through that. Oh, there's a lot of people trading online. Let's see what they're doing. We're right there on this. There we go. All right, so we just swept sell side on NQ, on ES. NQ, no, but I do suspect we come to take it. If not, then that might be it. So at this point, I'm just watching, waiting. We have an inverse here. The tape looks very it looks like it's getting ready for something. Just the way it's moving and stuff. And now this becomes that order block. Seven points. Oh, son of a biscuit. I clicked Oh, okay, good. I clicked reset instead of nothing here. As soon as it gets here, I want to see what it does. Who knows? Maybe we get an up close candle and then we get that run. But as of right now, just watching. Okay, she's short. 1 second. All right, so we just hit previous month high. All right, so here is the moment of truth. This is where I want to see that reversal come in. If we just continue to pick up speed, then no entry, and I will have been wrong for the day. Again, this is 50% of the 4-hour order block. We're at previous month high. So what I want to see with this candle, or whatever candles have an up close candle, I want to see an aggressive move higher, and I want to see it close above a previous down close candle. If that happens, then I might take a starter, but then my stop will be whatever low of that candle was violated. But other than that, I don't have a plan for any of that for short, because she's short right now. Technically speaking, this right here is a model in itself because it took out sell side, then it took out buy side. 1 more minute. I mean, 3 more seconds. There we go. Okay, so here is that mitigation block. And as you can see here on the 4-hour, we closed above consequent encroachment. Let's get ready. And we do have S&T on the 1-hour, unless we break this low, because ES just broke that 1-hour low. So we'll see on the 1-hour and the 15-minute actually. This is technically a pretty good, what is it called? 2022 model, where it has a breaker, you short at the breaker low, imbalance, but again, I'm expecting a reversal here. As soon as we break above that, I'm taking it, and then that'll be my only trade for Friday if I'm wrong. Because I'm taking a big risk trying to catch a falling knife here. Okay, it's just continuing to draw lower. Yes. Okay, so that SMT is out the window now. All right, so that's it for me. I don't expect well, I mean we're still within the macro, so I'll just keep an eye on it. But at this point, I'm not interested. Um, Mainly because okay, so again, I want to see displacement. That's all I want to see. What's YM doing? YM just broke the previous the Asia low. So all three pairs are in conjunction with one another. This 4 hour candle, the 4 hour down close candle, closed above constant encroachment. So this 4 hour opened above it. So it could still maybe just wick into it a little bit, and then we get that reversal. At least that's what I'm expecting, and that's what I'm looking for. So we'll see. Price should not come back up to this area. If we're bearish, it should not come back up to this area here, because if it's really gonna sell off, and if price is really weak, then it should respect this breaker block here, right there. Pretty good setup actually, but it's not my type. Actually, it is because we swept sell side here, then we swept buy side, but my bias is bullish, so because I do expect these highs to get taken, because we're at prime area where it could maybe go back up to seek buy side liquidity. But since it's not doing anything right now, no reason to, and I don't want to take any shorts in this area. But I'm looking for that signal. Could be this right here. Everybody's getting short right now. So my thought process is that everybody's getting short, and then the rug will be pulled from under them. It is respecting this order block here. And we still have 5 minutes. So if in 5 minutes I don't get anything, then I'll call it. I'm just not seeing what I want to see. Let's do this actually. Right there. Where would 50% be? Right around here, which would be consequent encroachment. So I'll leave it. Okay. What the hell? There we go. That's better. And consequent encroachment of this is here. There we go. It's just keeps drawing wicks at the highs. It's still respecting this order block here. 3 more minutes until the macro is over. It's holding at the extreme discount of this order block. Now let's see what it does. Still watching. Where's consequent encroachment? Is it? It's down here. See if there's anything else. This is that order block that started that move up. That should be it. I don't yeah, it's already way down here, so I don't expect at this point. The odds are less likely for me unless we get an immediate draw higher now. The macro's about to be over, so I think I'm gonna call it there. Um, I'm just not convinced yet. Um, yeah, I'm just not convinced yet. So depending on how price closes today will give me indication as to what it wants to do next week. Because again, I really did expect price to have a reversal here somewhere. At least with ES, again, we opened and closed above here, above 50% of this range. So it could still come down here, but at this point, I'm just yeah, I think that'll be it for the day. I'm just not interested in trading in these conditions. Again, there was a pretty good setup on the 1 minute here, but yeah, right here. But I just didn't like this. The retracement was good, but just not enough for me, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, overall, again, it's a pretty good setup here, right there. Sell side, buy side swept, drew into this 5 minute order block, uh, imbalance, and then we drew lower. So overall, pretty good setup here. But I just wasn't willing to take that because my was that I had expected price to maybe rebalance into 50% of this range at least, because we have plenty of confluence here, but we're just continuing to draw lower. We're spooling right now, meaning price is not necessarily offering anything. But I'm gonna give it another 3 4 minutes until 10:15, and if nothing happens by then I'll just call it. Yeah, it's definitely spooling, so I'd rather stay away from that. Um, if I was bearish, then this is 100% a short I would have taken. Probably would have taken it here and then added here maybe. But again, today I wasn't bearish. I was bullish, I guess I would say, but I did not see the type of price action I wanted to see. So no pulling the trigger on anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it today. I'll see you next week. Depending on how price closes today, will give me indication as to what I want to see happen next week. We are drawing an imbalance on the weekly, unless it literally just draws lower today. Actually, no, the imbalance just closed. So again, uh, weekly order block, weekly propulsion block, in my opinion. So I do want to see what it does today. Does it close down here, or does it close up here? We are at 50% of this range now, right? So this could be maybe an immediate rebalance off of this median threshold going into that. So yeah, still no idea what it wants to do, but looks like these right here. So we are also here. ES has not broken into 50% of the range yet. So that could be a pretty good sign as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'll see you